Listen up, you blundering fools. It's time for the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast. Get all the toy talk your eagle hearts could desire from these nincompoops. Jason and Elgn.
Yo, Joe! And welcome to the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast, where friends get together to talk about one of our shared loves,
churros,
and toy collecting. We're here to celebrate food every week, and also how these little colorful pieces of plastic can transform you into a little kid again. If this is your first time listening to us or watching us live on YouTube every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, first of all, thank you all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. There's a lot out there in the world to take your attention, so we appreciate what you're giving us.
Yes.
But you're going to learn soon enough. We are not toy experts. We are not movie experts. We're just enthusiasts. So we're not always going to get all the details right, and that's okay.
Yeah.
We're friends here.
It's all right, I guess.
And speaking of details, let me introduce everybody. Hi there, I'm Jason, and over there's my pal, Elgn.
I'm over here, and Jason's over there.
Yeah, look at us over in those places.
And we're live here on YouTube. But before we jump into today's episode, we've got something exciting to tell you about. Our Patreon and YouTube community, The Core. When you enlist in The Core, that's the Cracktastic organization of retro plastic specialists, you unlock a treasure trove of exclusive perks made just for hardcore collectors like you. You get bonus episodes, shoutouts, early access, plus an exclusive chat with us and the other Core members. So don't wait. Enlist in The Core today. Just go to enlistinthecore.com to help support the show.
It's been a while since Transformers 1 hit theaters. But now that the dust has settled, or shall we say the Energon has cooled, we're finally giving it the full Cracktastic Plastic review.
Yep.
Jason caught it on the big screen when it first dropped, while Elgn is just now experiencing it for the first time.
On the small screen.
Does the movie hold up after multiple viewings? Does a fresh perspective change the way we see it? We're breaking down everything: story, animation, voice cast, and of course the toy potential. Whether you loved it, hated it, or forgot it even came out, join us as we dive into the Transformers prequel that promised to show us how it all began.
Mm-hmm.
And then later in the show, Elgin's going to take us on a tour of a toy store, and it's going to be super duper fun.
Yeah.
And you can follow us on all the social media platforms, including Patreon, and all those links can be found at our website, cracktasticplastic.com. And while you're surfing the interwebs, be sure to stop by our sponsor, toyhacks.com, for all your repro label needs. They have an armory where you can get some toy-accurate 3D printed weaponry and tons of amazing sticker sets for your toys. We also have a monthly contest that Elgin's going to tell you all about.
That's right. Every month, we give away a $5 coupon to toyhacks.com. We'll post something on our social media pages, so you need to go out there and comment on whatever we post. And if we pick you, then you'll win that $5 to spend at toyhacks.com.
Seems really easy.
Very easy. It's the easiest thing you can do, other than liking and subscribing and following us.
You tell them, Elgn.
That's right.
All right. Well, let me see. Everybody's over in the chat. Remember, y'all can talk to us on the chat over there on YouTube.
It's
and
free.
We'll get you on the show. That's right. It's free too. But right now, let's talk about what toys we've picked up lately in a segment we call Thrill of the Hunt.
Listen up, you fools. If anyone knows more about searching for the most unique items in the world, it's me, Cobra Commander. In my reign as Cobra's leader, I have acquired countless items, but those meddling Joes have foiled my attempt at worldwide domination over and over again. But it's the thrill of the hunt that fuels my superb rule of Cobra. Pay attention to my loyal subordinates as they tell you of their latest exploits and acquisitions. It's the thrill of the hunt, Cobra!
All right. Thanks, Cobra Commander.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
Elgin, what have you picked up lately, buddy?
Well, I've got a few things here and there that I've, collected in my week since we last talked.
Cool.
First off, I want to talk about this Mattel Creations exclusive figure. They're not paying me to say that. I wish they were, but this one is from the first one they did of the year. They did an Origins figure, and I picked up Rio Blast. That's right, the good old Star Marshal himself. This one is really awesome, actually. It looks very much like the vintage figure,
Really
even
nice.
down the head sculpt and the
Stash sculpt.
piercing blue eyes. Yeah, the stash sculpt. But yeah, and the weapons and everything. I have him in this pose because he was on the track on Eternia, because that's what he is on the box art. So I have him over there. When he's
To catch everyone up, Elgin's recreating the Eternia
Yes.
box art with his figures
Trying.
behind him.
Yes, yeah.
And so
As
it's
you can-
exciting to get a new character for it.
Yeah, for the background
Yeah.
background character. As you can see, I got Cyclone here tickling
Yeah.
him, and then
I see a Grizzlar.
Stendar back there, and then Rock-On is over there, flying in, transforming in from meteorite to anyway. But yeah, Rio Blast. So that's why he has this thing on his hand. That didn't come with it. That came with the Eternia playset.
Yep.
But so you can hook onto the tram. That's why he has that. But he does have the guns that swing in and out. Just like the original, just like the vintage. Even the little thigh guns, he has those.
What?
That pop open. He even has his chest gun. Pops open there.
Okay.
You could shoot out. And they did recreate the backpack gun as well. That comes up
and over. Yeah.
And you can do that and shoot even more people. Fastest gun in the mythical West, I guess.
So wait, is he a robot or a man?
Yes.
Okay. Once you
really...
plop his chest out there, I'm like,
yeah, there's a lot of like cybernetic stuff on him.
Yeah, he's the first RoboCop. I get it. That's
yeah,
cool.
really,
Space RoboCop.
Probably RoboCop came out in '87, so I think this came out before. So
yeah, RoboCop stole. This.
Yeah, they stole it from. So Mattel obviously put out this, but when they did the vintage one, they put out this character, and then that was supposed to kind of lead into their other series. I just forgot now the Brave Star. So Brave Star was also produced by Mattel around the same time. This was like a character that was like a crossover toward that, to like, hey, we're making this new cartoon that's also about space cowboys. Let's produce this one first, and then lead our buying audience into that.
Because he's so Brave Star.
Well, I mean,
so many.
It's kind of. I mean, Brave Star was like that kind of. Anyway, but yeah, so glad to have Rio Blast in the collection, especially for the box art that I can have him. That's why he's like in this kind of running pose, hanging pose, whatever, with his gun. So they did add these tubes to his arm, and when I was looking at the vintage character, which I also have, humble brag, these tubes are actually integrated into his arms, like molded into his arms, and then they just did it outside, which I don't really like. I'd rather have them molded into his arms. It does look like Charles Bronson a little bit. If Charles Bronson, well, I guess Charles Bronson did do a lot of westerns back in the day, but it was like a Death Wish, and this is like Death Wish era Bronson.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have a comic book. I haven't read. I looked through it briefly, but I haven't really read it, so that probably explains more. But yeah, Mattel Creations exclusive. It was like early in the year when this came out, like January or something. They finally shipped it a few weeks ago or so, maybe a month ago.
So cool.
Yeah.
I need to get the vintage still. I don't have.
Yeah, he's an awesome vintage like figure as well. I mean, it looks Like this figure
Yeah.
is, if you couldn't get the vintage one, this would be a great replacement for it. Like it checks all the boxes of what that vintage one is like, and it could probably stand a little better too. All right, staying on the Mattel Creations exclusive train.
Yeah.
We got this in just last week or so. I'm trying to remember. All these videos of these figures,
you don't timestamp and date them and put little
probably
stickers and
should.
tags on everything. And
That's a lot more than I would want to do. But check out all the videos of these figures on our Motu Monday YouTube playlist. You can look at all of them. They have a little more in-depth viewing and closer up viewing of them as well.
Upper closer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. Anyway, Mattel Creations exclusive, this time Masterverse figure of the year. That's right, we got Panther.
Hell yeah.
He's giant. He's a giant figure and looks awesome. He's got a little helmet. That's pretty sweet. So a new helmet, mold for the helmet, new saddle, different stuff on the saddle than the Battle Cat that came out way back in wave 1 of Masterverse. Articulated tail, no butthole, I don't think.
Oh,
We could put one there. It does come with a spear that you can take off and like put into his saddle there, either side, however you want it displayed, I guess. You can put it on those. It does have a little place for your feet, stirrups for your feet. If you want the figure to put their feet in there, which is kind of cool. I don't think the Battle Cat had that at all. Some armor on the legs as well.
That's cool.
It is not flocked, as you can see. That is the one thing that Panther has been known to be, is a flocked figure, even in the vintage and the Origins. They finally did the flocked one after they released the original one. So my guess is they'll probably do another one.
But that paint is so cool.
But it's the paint is very cool. It's a metallic.
Yeah.
You kind of see it shining, but it's a metallic kind of paint on it as well.
That purple, that's pretty, man.
It's a pause. Very articulated everywhere. I mean, just like multiple articulation points on the legs and everything. And the one, let me take this helmet off. A couple of cool things about the head sculpt. If you can see it, the eye is a glass eye. They put like a plastic over it to make it look like a glass.
Moly.
Yeah. And that's it looks better in person, but you can see the reflection off of it. That's a covering over the eye. So the mouth articulates as well. One cool thing about the mouth, when it opens, the teeth come down on the top. That comes down to bare its teeth. I mean, the thought of that, like doing that little motion, adds so much to this. And when you have them closed, it pops it back up. But having it down, like that little extra,
really changes it.
I mean, that's so good. The teeth are kind of soft teeth as well. So, but just having those
there, that's badass.
Yeah, the eye sculpt and these teeth, that kind of pushes it way above. I mean, it's actually kind of nice not having a flock, because if it was anything like the flocking on the Origins figure, it came off like pretty easily.
Yep, that's what Alex said here. The flock definitely rots off, he says.
Yeah, even on the vintage figures as well, it comes off. So maybe it's better for playability to not have it on there and to give it this kind of shiny metallic paint, which is pretty awesome.
It's new and different and really badass.
Yeah, and they're putting it in the subline of the new Eternia.
Oh,
which is
no rules.
It's not, so it's technically not Masterverse Revelation ones. It's the new Eternia, which that line and that subline is killing it with figures. Just like how good they look as like alternate looks and stuff. That new Beastman was a new Eternia Beastman, the big one with the fur and everything.
Oh man.
And I think Too Bad was the new Eternia version. Like they just look so good. I did another figure earlier for today. I can say today because this is live.
Yes, it's weird. It's new. It's a new world.
I'm so used to saying like has been, whatever
Yeah.
he said. It didn't make any sense anyway when he said it. But yeah, so yeah, it's an awesome figure. I just need to get that new vintage collection Skeletor to have him on there. The one that's supposed to be, that was the San Diego Comic-Con one, but then they did a 2-pack, and then they were gonna like, oh, we're gonna re-release them as like single packs. So I'm still looking for that vintage one. I'll put him on this, and then have my vintage He-Man on Battle Cat, and then they'll be facing each other on the shelf.
That fucking head sculpt is amazing. And I was going to say that armor I really liked because it's like really exaggerated, that underbitey's tusk thing.
It's awesome. Like, they did a great job. I know people are like, oh, $40 and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, that's what it was when Battle Cat came out. Like, it was roughly the same, price range. All right, last thing I'm talking about, it's kind of big, so I have to...
We got comedian Bill Fisher, channel member, says yellow.
Yellow.
I'll say no, it's purple, Bill, but that's
exactly. Idiot. Sorry, Bill.
Sorry, last thing.
All right, last thing. This one's kind of big.
Always break in to make fun of Bill. Sorry.
Yeah, since Bill's here.
Yeah.
I gotta show it off. That's right.
We got
the Technodrome.
Oh my god.
I gotta put it up on my shoulder here.
It's too big.
Yeah, it is. So I'm gonna take the eye off because it might roll off anyway.
You don't want that.
Yeah, there is a button underneath that you can launch the eye off. It drops down and then it rolls off. But there's the eye. And people I know have complained, well, it's like a percentage smaller. It doesn't really matter. Like, it's still giant. And to have one complete, and I still have the box complete, perfect box, complete Technodrome that has 1 million stickers and 1 million little pieces on it is awesome to have. I mean, this is kind of a grail thing for me to have a Technodrome, complete.
Oh yeah,
and not cost a fortune. This was, I ended up getting on sale.
Channel member Tiffany says that thing's bigger than me.
Yep, you can just crawl inside. But you can, it has a little escape hatch here. You can open up there. Has some guns that can move here. Yeah, look up the side. You can attach a figure here and have him go around on guns. I'll turn it around here. This is another escape hatch. I think this is Shredder's escape hatch. Let's see. So open up that comes out there. This foot door opens, and then you can escape there. There's stickers all over there as well. It does open. So we'll open one side here.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
Kind of see.
Kind of.
Mic here. I know. There's some stuff in here. I'm trying to look through the Technodrome.
Yeah, we got our ammo live. We got the
some gas. Oops, I caught on my mic cord.
Yep.
This thing.
Yep.
Get down there. There we go.
Little computer station.
Yep. Let's open the other one. Oh. Hit the mic. It's cool. We're professional. So the foot comes down so it can balance. We got a little spot for that's on the other side. Oh, looks like a sticker fell off. So the only bad thing about these new classics ones, the stickers tend to fall off. I see 2 of them down here.
I see the spot for them up.
Yeah,
above,
it goes up there. It's like a screen. I'll have to fix that later. You can put a figure here and like dump ooze on them, I guess.
Yeah.
Through a little spot there. Krang's spot is over here on this side. You can stick the Krang figure up there. This is what launches the eyeball. You pull that down. And then there's this comes down like that.
Oh man.
And then the eyeball rolls. Like that. And you can also put some pieces in it. So when you have it open, to keep it open, you can put this little bridge piece that just connects inside there. That to keep it open. And you can put this other piece on here for a torture spot for the turtles. And it spins around like that.
Oh, yeah.
You do have to take that off if you want to close it. There's a jail in here too, with a trap door, if you can kind of see it. Oh my God. Like here, and that opens like that. And they get trapped in the jail. This can come out, but I don't know if you'd want to take it out.
Right.
But it can. But yeah, I just have it displayed open, and then I have this little piece on it, with the turtle screen on it, just open, so it's open displayed. But yeah, it's a great piece. I mean, one to have everything complete, and to have like all the pieces and everything. Oh, the thing's coming off. These dang stickers. The same thing was happening in that pizza thrower van.
Oh no! Bill says that's badass. Always wanted one as a kid.
Me too.
Jimmy says Gerbil Palace.
It could be. It could be. But yeah, you have to take off the little spinny thing if you want to close it. But I would just keep it kind of open on both sides. I have it on my turtle table that I was using earlier. Yeah, I just have it kind of open and display. I just need to stick figures in it now to like recreate the box art of that. So that's the next box art recreation. Because there's plenty of stuff for that.
I've had some luck with just like a glue stick, putting some stickers back on.
Yeah,
it's not crazy sticky, but
yeah, I used some super glue one time. That kind of helped, like for some stickers. That seemed to help pretty well.
No, Bill.
You might want to delete your history after checking that out. That's all I got. Those giant things.
Those are awesome things.
But yeah, super excited. I mean, I kind of didn't want to build the Technodrome because I knew it was going to be like, I didn't want to do the video because I knew it was going to be a chore.
Yeah.
Not really a chore, but I mean, it was going to be a lot. Like,
sure.
And I ended up having, I found a day where I was like off work or something. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this in the afternoon and do that or Saturday or something like that. And cause I'm like, and there was like 3 sticker sheets and it took a while. So on the video, if you watch the video, which is also on our YouTube playlist of Turtle Thursday, there's a little, I don't know, Easter egg or something, but when you watch the video, I cut in the old SpongeBob one eternity later. And then I came back and showed the stuff because I'm like, it's going to take forever, you know. It took me a while to track that down and cut that in and then edit it into the video. So,
yeah.
No just kidding. To find that 1 second clip of that. I'm like, that's how it felt like. It felt like I hate doing stickers. I know you love doing stickers, but I hate doing stickers so with a passion. Like I almost didn't even put the lights on the outside of it stickers. But I'm like, oh my God.
If I'm gonna do it, I gotta do it.
Yeah, I did. I saved it to last. I was like, because they're so tiny and square. But it does have wheels on the bottom. It can roll as well. But yeah, it's awesome to actually have it. It like is crazy. Like it's,
do you know if it's still available on Amazon? I
think so. I think it is. I think they still have it like on some sort of discount, whether it's like 10% off or 20%. I think I got it for 30% off.
I'm sure it's retail. In BBTS or.
I don't know. I think it's Amazon exclusive.
Oh, actually. Okay. I couldn't remember.
And they're doing the same for the Turtle Lair is going to be Amazon exclusive as well this year. So hoping to get that.
Yeah.
On sale.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it's kind of a, like I said, it's kind of a grail thing for me to get. I know we talked about it once in one episode, year or so back, or maybe, and yeah, just to actually have it and see it, it's crazy that it's like Eternia, you know, it's like you still can't believe that this is sitting back here, you know, yeah, and everything. So.
You spelled it wrong, Jimmy. Not layer. Lair. Layer. That's funny.
Turtlar.
Well, I'm so happy you got it, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm
those big
super
pieces,
excited.
the play sets, the grails. Oh man,
Especially
you've been
on
wanting it since
display.
you were a little baby Elgin.
Yeah, little baby turtle.
Since you crawled out of the ooze,
Yeah,
you've been wanting that.
But I mean, it's just having a display and putting figures on it in like a scene, like recreating the box art. Like for me, that's huge. Like to do that, like I did it with Snake Mountain, doing it with Eternia, and doing it with this is like, you know, something else.
Bill says, Jason, you should know by now to pre-read my comments. For real though, congrats, Elgin. Happy for you.
Thanks, Bill.
And
someday you'll get one too. Just
yeah.
order it on Amazon.
Tiffany looked it up. She says it's $65 and there's a 20% coupon currently. So
that's still good. I mean, especially if you already have Amazon Prime, and get 2-day shipping, your shipping's going to be free. You're going to get 20% off.
That's a hell of a play set too.
I mean, it is worth it for if you're a turtle fan, even if it is a percentage smaller than the original, to have it complete, to have it the box art on it is like the original, and you know, just to have that play set for your display or to play with is awesome. So, I'll stop gushing about it.
Oh, so happy for you. All right, I've got some things over there. I got my lovely assistant here. I have some unboxings of all these things too on the unboxing playlist on our channel.
Yep.
I came across this 2-pack of G1 reissue repaints, based off of the Diaclone colors before they became Transformers. And up here first is Blitzwing, and he's typically kind of tan and purple. He's a jet tank robot, and these colors aren't crazy. You can imagine a brown tank and a red jet kind of thing, and it's neat. I'm just half as stoked to have him with his gun and his sword. I've never had that before, so my childhood one is long gone. So pretty excited to have that one. And the 2-pack that he came with was this so bizarre Astro Train here.
Just like the song.
This is white and orange, and that's more purple than blue, but take my word for it.
Oh well.
But look at his little arms. That's his arms. His giant gun. His arms are only that long. little stubby things. But anyway, this really neat. Just so weird seeing him. He's normally gray and purple and black, so it's just this white and orange is so bizarre. But it's just a 2-pack that I never thought I'd have ever, and I just come across it in Kansas City on the way to Bill's birthday party, and so happy to have it now. And I got this new crossover set the other day, and it's of something I know zero about. So I might need y'all's help in the chat here. This is Kurami and Gamakichi from Naruto and Shippuden. I got this 2-pack here.
I did that earlier.
All right.
And the turlet.
So yeah, it's a Naruto and Shippuden, and it's these dudes, Kurami and Gamakichi. I'll show you what they become. They're neat. Well, one, I mean, it's a original mold. This isn't a repaint or anything. This was made just for this.
Oh, cool.
And you'll definitely see that as soon as I turn it around and you see the characters. But yeah, so we got a little turtle, a little frog dude, Gamakichi, and then Kurama is this neat little woven thing with wings and flame. I don't know what's going on. Never
Cool.
seen this show, but I hear good things. Jimmy says, Gummy Coochie. No, Jimmy, no. Tiffany says, Bailey could maybe tell you she liked that anime for a minute. I'll have to take this back and have her explain it to me.
Yeah. I do know that when you run, you have to have your arms back behind you.
Yes, that is the correct way to run in
If you're
Japanese
in
anime.
Naruto.
Also, it's just a weird packaging.
Wow, that's
So it's got this round side and then a not round side. And the art's neat. I don't know if this is supposed to be like wood.
Camera.
Can't.
Are you showing slides for vacation?
I don't know, man. No reference at all. It has.
Oh,
this.
You don't read Japanese?
Nope. It's
just Google
crossover.
Translate that. Remember when we did that? Use your Google Lens and translate it.
Yeah. But this look at this little frog dude though. That's cool as shit though.
Yeah, Amanda would love that. She loves frogs.
Yeah, so look at that little guy.
A little fella.
Aw, Gamaki.
Oh, little Gamaki.
And then the Kurama, he looks pretty badass too.
Yeah. Do you think you're gonna unbox this or not?
As I've mentioned before, I've not unboxed a single crossover.
Oh yeah,
yet.
That's right. Because they look so good in the box.
Because they look so good in the box, so it's not. I haven't got there yet.
That's
in
fine.
my brain.
I couldn't remember.
I want to. I want to.
Nah, I don't think.
But that's as far as I've got. I'm like, oh boy.
I don't think you should. If you haven't already, I don't.
Right. The whole set, the whole
right,
series.
Exactly. I wouldn't then. Like if you had one, then I'd be
more.
Like, you broke the seal, you know.
Oh, 3 more things here. My favorite Transformers toy line of all time. Well, I shouldn't have said that. Besides Generation 1, the original, is Missing Link, and that's because it's Generation 1, but with articulation.
Oh,
and
I thought you were
again,
gonna say Power of the Primes.
Close. No. Age of the Primes is coming up soon, and that's pretty exciting. That's the new toy line name.
Cool.
Which you know, after tonight's topic, you'll have a little more clue to what that's all about. But anyway,
I have a guess.
Missing Link is taking G1 figures that are just bricks. You know, they have no knees or elbows.
Yeah.
You can't do anything.
Yeah.
And they redesign them exactly, but then give them articulation. Here's the box for Missing Link 3 and 4. We got Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper.
Nice.
These little boxes are tiny. You can see they're very tiny.
Yeah, definitely.
But then they're really tiny too. They would have come on a card back before.
Yeah, blister, like a blister.
So it's weird. So it's, the fact that that's a box, that's why it's small. But pretty cool to have these guys.
Definitely.
And they have articulation, man. Like this is a thing you couldn't do before. Oh, look, I can turn my head over here. I can look over there. Way. He didn't have hands, so he wasn't able to have a gun like he does. He came with a gun that resembles his pistol from the original cartoon episodes. Elbows. What? He's got shoulders. He's got his legs. He's got knees. What? He's got hip. He's got ankle tilt. It's unfreaking believable.
That's crazy.
All in this tiny, and I know most of us have probably played with, a mini bot before. They're really tiny things, and they transform kind of similar too, but they're the exact same size and shape of the original. So freaking cool.
That's awesome.
It's just amazing to have these figures redone, but then have articulation. Cliff Jumper, he has a different, his pistol is a little different than Bumblebee's, and then he also comes with a bazooka. This is all vac metal chrome,
nice,
like it should be.
Yeah, exactly.
This is from one of the first episodes too, and
when he blasts somebody with the bazooka.
Yep, and he kind of starts everything and he misses, and then he pisses off Megatron, and it all goes to hell. But This is my favorite line. I love those so much. Wow, look at that. We got Jimmy, pardon me, how do you pronounce that, Elgin? Ratchumi.
Machumi, possibly.
Says he's a new subscriber.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
Another Jimmy.
Can't have enough Jimmies. Surround
That's
yourself by Jimmies. That's
yes.
Lastly, Valentine's Day just passed.
Oh,
I don't remember where she found these work at a Dollar General. And those Valentine's Day cards.
Oh yeah.
You know, just I try to do less merchandise stuff nowadays. Man, back in the day I had I
love vintage merch stuff.
Oh, I know.
So awesome.
But like there's some really cool, I got out of the box here. There's some really cool artwork here, if it would focus. Yep, happy Valentine's Day. This is all backwards to me, so I can't read it. But I mean, I can read it. I'm just not going to read it. But yeah, neat.
That's cool.
Just neat little things. Happy to have it, you know, and then you just fill in your business over here.
Yeah.
But super.
Make sure you decorate your brown paper bag so that you can put your Valentine's in.
She said they were only 10 cents on sale, so she had to get them for me. So
sweet. That's Elginomics right there.
Comedian Bill Fisher says, surrounded by Jimmy's. Anywho, speaking of Valentine's Day.
Hey, I thought of that as soon as you said it, Jason.
Oh, I did? Oh.
You said surrounded by Jimmy's.
Our new subscriber asked, what is your favorite Transformer toy? I'll let you go first, Elgin.
Mine is probably Soundwave, but
that's a good one.
Since I don't really collect Transformers, that's probably if I did.
No, it's a good one. It's a good one.
I do like. I like the idea of like cassette tapes and stuff going in them.
The musician in you, the fan of music. It's neat.
I always I liked his voice on the original cartoon. I always liked that kind of distorted, like that character
processed.
That over processed, like it always was cool.
Excuse me, what was that?
Because it was different. It was
okay.
It was always different. Like it was different than all the rest of them.
Everyone else, the most unique.
And maybe that's what stood out. And like he could launch robots out of his chest too. That was cool. But yeah, probably Soundwave if I were to pick one to collect.
Yep.
You know, to buy and collect. I do have that one that you gave me, which is awesome. The core class one.
Yeah. For me, it's Starscream. It's Generation 1 Starscream. He's right there. It's my favorite toy. I collect all the Starscream. I mean, I collect all the toys, all the Transformers, but I have a specific Starscream collection that's insane too, and definitely my favorite toy. It's the most. All these toys here, I just have to touch it, and it becomes a time machine back to being 6-7 years old and just being a child again. They really are time machines, but nothing does it like that Starscream does. It really transports me back instantly. It's magical how it does it. Jimmy says his favorite, he likes Megatronus the Fallen and Tarn. Oh, you like those big baddies. Okay. All right. The big baddies. No, they're awesome.
Hey, bad guys are cool.
Yeah, guys.
Love a good bad guy.
Are cool. Well, did you watch it, Elgin? Did it finally happen?
I did. Yes. I watched it. And I watched it in our bedroom, and Amanda was in there hanging out, doing some crafts and stuff. And she kind of watched it too, along with me. And she enjoyed it as well. I did enjoy it.
Okay.
I took some notes even.
Oh, yeah. Cool. I got a few here just in case there's questions, but.
Yeah, I have some questions, I guess.
This will go for everyone in the chat. If you want to let us know, have you seen Transformers 1? Did you like it? What are your thoughts? I would love to hear it, but that's what we're talking about tonight. Transformers 1.
Yes.
And Elgin dared me to make it a topic so that I could make him freaking watch this
So I could
movie.
actually
He was
watch
never
it.
going to watch it.
I
unless we
probably
did.
wasn't. It was
Yeah.
gonna be but yeah, I did watch it and took notes, so I was like actively watching it, which is the best way to watch movies, really.
That's true.
At least I learned that from film studies class back in college, is that you should actively watch films, because you can passively watch films, all the time.
Yes.
They can just be on in the background, but to actually like pay attention and like make notes and think about stuff is, a little bit more.
Well, I'm so excited for this because I do love your movie breakdowns, and I'm just excited. All right, shut up, Jason. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know. I did know it was a prequel.
That's good.
So that wasn't like a surprise to me at all. Yeah. And then so Chris Hemsworth voices Ryan Pax, the young miner bot that's like searching for the whatever it's called, the
Energon.
or the
Matrix of Leadership.
Leadership, yeah, the thing.
He wants to do something with his life.
Yeah, they're basically, they kind of set it up as that all these robots are not really even transformers because they can't transform. They've taken their cog of transformation out, where they don't have one. What they know is that they don't have one. They don't know why they don't have one, and
maybe they're supposed to earn it.
Yeah, so, through hard work and promotions, much like real life. That we would, be better ourselves. But yeah, he's in the archives, like searching around, and then gets caught, basically, sent back. But yeah, he's a miner. He's mining Energon. Of course, we know Energon powers Transformers. It's their food, it's their fuel,
lifeblood.
Yeah, it's their everything, basically. So yeah, I did have, so he's looking through archive, mining for Energon. Oh, I did note that Alita 1 makes the touch and power joke.
Wasn't that so funny?
You don't have the touch or the power.
Oh man,
to do that. And I was like, oh, we'll write that down.
Then I
you got the
touch.
It.
You got the power.
You got the power.
So good, so good.
So yeah, I did
those little Easter eggs, man.
Yeah, there seemed to be a lot of that throughout. So it felt like it was the movies maybe more for adults, or at least fans of Transformers, as opposed to kids. And there was language in it as well. So I don't know if it would be maybe for older kids, not like 5-year-old, 6-year-old
range.
Yeah, because it felt more adult than maybe what it could have been. I suppose making it a super kiddie movie would have been fine too. But this one, it felt more maybe teen, young adult,
somewhere in between. Yeah,
adult age stuff. But definitely for fans of Transformers, it hits that as well, especially with these little Easter eggs, sprinkled throughout. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Speaking of like adult themes, so Orion almost gives the finger to the guy, kind of very much like Galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy, when Peter Quill is doing that, like
fishing,
yeah, and does that. I was like, oh,
I got something that can transform. Yeah,
exactly. So it's like that. They cut pretty quick away from it. But
it's pushing adults.
So that's why I'm like, I don't think it's for like that 5 to, I don't know, 12, right? Maybe 12, but it's definitely more geared toward older audiences, I feel like. The Icon 5000, the race, is that anything like from before? Like, I don't remember hearing anything about Icon 5000. Is that a new thing?
No, it's, I believe, in the comic books that there was a whole planet that was a race. What
race planet?
A racing planet.
Sure.
And is a big part of the story and lore from the comic books. And so I think it was a way to bring that into this as just a thing. Iacon was just the name of the city, is the name of the main city. So
I see. It kind of reminded me of like Daytona 500, taking that kind of 5,000, just adding a zero or something. But like that kind of racing type theme, and we did get a reference from Sentinel Prime, who was voiced by John Hamm, which is great. Like having John Hamm as like kind of a sleazebag character, having him voice Sentinel Prime is like pretty good casting for that as well. Kind of fits that, what you'll find out later. But he does do the more than meets the eye reference. He does. I noted that down that he did say that. So I'm like, okay, check that off in your drinking game of Transformers.
Bingo card of whatever. Yeah.
And I did know one thing I did notice with the animation. So the animation is done by Industrial Light and Magic, which I didn't realize they were doing like animated stuff like that. But the eyes on the Transformers were kind of freaky a little bit. They're like moving around and like looking around and kind of weirdly looking around and stuff.
There's a lot of layers going on.
Yeah,
for sure.
It kind of reminded me of like old Rotoscan type stuff. And I'm just wondering if like with some of the movements and stuff, if they had like the actors in like green suits, motion cap type stuff, and if they're moving around or they, doing that type stuff because of the way it's moving, and then the way their eyes are moving too, it feels like that they, captured that a little bit more as well. It's kind of disconcerting, like looking at their eyes, like it's having like real eyes and like moving around and stuff. It did give it a little more humanity, but
for sure,
it was kind of odd for me. A lot of my stuff is going to be very nitpicky, by the way.
Yeah, I'm gathering that. All right,
yeah,
that's okay.
But yeah, it just reminded me of like old Rotoscan type stuff that they used to do, or like motion cap. So I didn't know if you knew any more of that or not, or had thought about that, like how they're.
I've listened to so many podcasts about the movie. I'm trying to recall with the best I can, and I think they did do some with face stuff, not obviously bodies.
Not the full. That would make
some
sense.
Face stuff for sure, because it gets so that the line is blurred sometimes with the human realism, and this is supposed to be this robot on screen. I think the animation is so freaking good and sharp, and
it is very good,
and like not something you normally see. They worked so hard on that it does make you confused. Like, am I like, oh, is this real? No, wait, no, it can't be real.
And then they mentioned the Quintessons.
Yep.
Was that something previous that I'd never heard of that, like that group of.
Yep, they've always been
aliens or whatever they are.
Yep, they've always been an alien race that they're in the 86 movie too. They have kind of a corkscrewy type ship, and they're the ones with the alligator type in the pit of judgment on the one planet.
Okay. Yeah.
And they have the multiple faces that move around.
Yes.
Same
That's
people.
the same. Okay.
Quintessons. Yep.
Quintessons. Okay, that makes more sense. With Gnaw, is that Gnaw?
Gnaw is one of the
creatures.
Yep. So those Quintessons.
Okay.
They've had different roles in different histories, different lores. Sometimes they're the creators of Transformers. Sometimes they're just the benevolent. They're like just the evilest of evils, or like they created Unicron, or like they're so old and ancient, but yet so they're just ancient this weird ultimate evil type race.
I ended up writing it twice. I don't know why. Like Quintessons twice. I wrote it once and then I wrote it later. I didn't even realize I did that until I'm looking at my paper. But yeah, going back to them working as miners for Energon, I thought there was like a miners joke, like MINOR versus MINER. I thought there was something where because they're like, you can't go in here because you're a minor. Like being you're too not old enough, versus like the miners are a lower class as well. They can't do something like go in the race. They can't go in the race for the Icon 5000, but like because they're not Transformers as well. But I thought I wrote that. I was like, "There's a miners," and I put a question mark. It's like, was that intentional, or did they do that? But yeah, they ended up getting after the race. Orion Pax and D16
D16
they go in the race, they lose, they almost win, but they lose, and they get busted down from being a miner down to level 50, and they run into Bumblebee, but not really Bumblebee, whatever his name was, B Real
126.
Yeah. And then he's voiced by Keegan Michael Key, which is also like perfect voice casting again. That's like like, would you want someone better than that, this comedian from the Key and Peele sketches and everything. And
Wasn't he so funny?
he was awesome. And then they even threw in a good old AA-tron
I know
joke. I was like, oh, I wrote that down. I'm like,
so great
from the old Key and Peele teacher,
Ron.
substitute teacher sketch of AA Ron.
Good.
Done messed up, AA Ron. And I was like, AA-tron, what? And I wrote that.
Yeah.
I was like,
Nice
perfect.
throw.
Like, only he could do that joke in there, to have it, to make it work,
Yep.
to reference it. They end up going up to the surface in one of the trains that goes up there with, like, they thought was waste. I had a question. Is there a reason why the surface changes? Like, you can see it like forming and like making these pillars and stuff like coming out of the surface and everything. Was there a reason why it changed? Because they don't really explain it. They said like, oh, now it's changing like that.
Right. When I watched it again yesterday, I didn't gather either specifically, so I thought they either alluded to that's what happened because of the Quintesson War that happened, or as in like because of the fear that they're trying to teach everyone to stay down underground, or because of the fallout of this great war ruin the surface, or that's just transforming planet does that. It seems weird. It's cool and pretty.
I mean, it makes for drama within them riding the train and everything and getting on the planet.
Yeah, they didn't really explain it.
I was just like,
fine.
Why is that? So maybe it's one of the things where you just like have to accept it as, this is what happens. And we don't need to explain everything, but I like to overthink things and,
Oh, yeah.
and like, why is this doing that? So, but yeah, I had that written down. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's happening. So then I wrote Quintessons again because they were making the
show up
again on the surface. And then, Sentinel Prime shows up, and the train that has all this waste is now full of Energon cubes that they're giving to the enemy, the supposed enemy. And it's like Sentinel Prime is really a bad guy, which I kind of felt like he was going to be a bad guy anyway. Like he just was like,
it was
like,
too
this
good.
guy's not cool.
What?
He's not. It's like it's got to be hiding. Like if it could have either been John Hamm or like Greg Kinnear or something like that as the voice, and it would have worked either way. Just this kind of slimy, it's like, oh, he's kind of good, but no, he's not really that. He's bad.
But he has it in him to not be good.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, he's giving all the Energon to the Quintessons and everything. And then I did notice that the Quintessons are like aliens from Independence Day, kind of look to them a little bit of like this like creature moving around and stuff.
I thought
so that was kind of cool. I don't know if that was on purpose or anything, but
nope, that's just they've always been that way since the movie. Tentacles. They just had a little tentacle bottom half.
Yeah, but then we get to see that that the primes, the older primes were betrayed by Sentinel Prime when they were gonna fight Quintessons. So we get that reveal of like he killed them all and took the power for himself to rule over this. And then they're like, oh, we got to get back with the evidence that one of the primes gives them, who is voiced by Lawrence Fishburne. Is great, and once again does a great job with that as the
Alpha Trion. Yeah, really adds a lot of gravitas to Alpha Trion.
Yes, for
that
sure.
Voice is perfect.
And was he was a character before as well, I'm guessing.
Yep,
Alpha
he
Triumph.
plays. He's in the original cartoon as like this mysterious grandpa that helps
Sure.
make Transformers. He might have been in the cartoon. He was kind of the godfather of all Transformers.
Gotcha.
So like he plays a part in it too. Like this, there's several different storylines that they're all different. But
yeah, with the comics and stuff, trying to follow everything, it's much like Motu. There's variant storylines of like pick one and that's your lore, I guess.
But then Sentinel learned the hard way that the matrix of leadership can't just be taken.
Exactly. He tried to like force it into his body, and it didn't want to go. He wasn't pure of heart, as they say. For that.
Yeah.
We do get an all or one reference line out there as well.
Yep. Bingo card stuff. Yep.
Yeah. So you gotta check off the list of like phrases and stuff. We do end up running into Starscream and the rest of his fellows, Soundwave and Shockwave and all those guys. I have some backstory with them. Of course, Starscream voiced by Steve Buscemi, which I thought wasn't too bad. Having him voice him is, his voice is kind of annoying enough to be Starscream like, I guess.
Yeah, it bothered me. It didn't bother me at first. It just Chris Latta is it's just like Optimus. It's you get used to it for 40 years, and man, it's different.
And that's I'm glad you mentioned that too, because that is the one, probably the biggest thing that watching this is listening to Chris Hemsworth try to be Peter Cullen, and it just was like, it was fine at the beginning.
Yeah, and then, I think he did all right doing his own thing.
When he I'll skip a little forward, but when he finally does become Optimus,
yeah,
I kind of wish at that point to bring in Peter Cullen just for like the 15 minutes that he is Optimus, just to have him. The lines at the end of him saying, I am Optimus Prime, would have been have so much more feeling and like into it. Like having Hemsworth say it is like, it made me miss Cullen so much. Like I was just like, I'm just like, I wish he would, like, his voice was here in this one spot. Like, it's fine because Orion Pax is a different character. That's fine. He can be different character in the sense that he becomes Prime later. But just like when he transformed, that whole scene, like going down, I know I'm skipping ahead, but going down and getting that the power, where it's like, that's a great scene. Like having D16 Megatron eventually turning heel almost. That's all I could think of, was like, he's turning heel.
Yep.
He's going from face to heel in wrestling terms. But like that whole like transition and like killing Prime, like ripping his body apart, like just brutally murdering this robot, and then like, as Ryan Bax is slowing down to the core and like finding the power and stuff. It's like, just when that transformation, like having him become Optimus Prime, like having Cullen's voice at that moment, was like, because it would have, I don't know, it just would have pushed it over the top for me, of like, this is like, yes, this is, cheering type of stuff, But yeah, that's I did like going back now to like, so you said you didn't really like
at first. At first, because it's so different. But then even this last time, I'm like, well, Buscemi's the man, like he's so fun to listen to. His voice is so unique. Yeah. But then once D16, popped his vocal cords, then he started sounding more like Starscream.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, that's cool. And it was still Buscemi doing that. So I got it, out of it.
It sounded closer.
Yeah.
Than what Hemsworth has done for me.
But again,
like you still would
all
want
different, and it's its own.
And I kept trying to like, okay, well, Peter Cullen's like 80 years old.
Right. He
understand that he's
sounds
old,
80.
and he sounds old.
He couldn't do it.
But I so wanted, especially
I
at
felt
that
like
moment.
they EQ'd it up pretty well to
Yeah.
Hemsworth slow down. I know that. I think
Yeah.
I know that Hemsworth did spend time with Colin talking about the voice and how he did it and stuff,
Right.
to get like a little coaching. But I think overall, from interviews with the director and Hemsworth was both like, we're not trying to imitate Peter Cullen in any way. Like let it be its own thing, and it'll be a disservice to try to imitate.
Yeah, that's why having him at the end would have pushed. Anyway, but yeah, I did. I mean, they did make Soundwave sound like Soundwave. That garbled, I don't know the best way to describe audio noise that he does, which is cool, and gave Shockwave a little more like, I don't know,
humor too.
Yeah, depth, I guess, of character. I don't really. I mean, it seems like Shockwave doesn't have any
personality at all.
At all.
I just guard Cybertron.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
whatever you want me to do.
So it was nice to like have something like
the
two of them playing off each other was nice and stuff. So
all the waves.
Yeah. And I wonder if this was intentional, like having the name D16 being close to Decepticons. I feel like that was maybe on purpose. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not.
I can tell you about that.
Sure.
So Megatron's original name, D16, is a reference to the Japanese serial number of the original Generation 1 Megatron toy released by Takara in 1984. The letter D is short for Destron, so the original Takara Japanese versions of Transformers were called Destrons. The Japanese name Decepticon is used in older media, while the number 16 denoted that the original Megatron toy was the 16th release by the Japanese toy line. So it was a catalog number.
Oh, okay.
D,
so maybe just coincidental.
16. But so the D is for Destron, which is just the Japanese version of Decepticon. So it is that, but
yeah, it just, when I was listening, I was like, I even wrote down, I was like, D16 equals Decepticon? Question mark, like this, because of the if you said it fast enough or wrong enough, maybe,
Right.
It would kind of morph into that, Anyway, Shockwave, Blinky, thought that was funny. Blinky,
yeah.
Having the kind of a different version of the quote, it's over Sentinel, it's over Prime. I don't know if that was intentional, but it felt like we have this. Let's twist it to this, to make it work for the film. Like, it's over Sentinel, that type of thing. Second Optimus death on screen by Megatron. I was like, they can't get away from trying to kill an Optimus on screen.
Yeah,
you can't get away from it. The Energon axe is cool. I thought that was really cool the way it came out.
Once he comes back, Optimus is just badass. He just takes everyone's name. And then he just keeps powering up, and the freaking axe comes out and just murders everybody.
Speaking of badass, having Bumblebee's giving himself a nickname of Badassatron.
Exactly. So good.
Was hilarious. Right? I kept saying that, like, I was like outside, just like walking out. I'm like, Badassatron.
Tiffany and the kids just to this day, it's like, I got knife hands.
Yeah, that was cool too.
Never stops.
At the end, once again, I'd said, missing Peter Cullen's voice as Optimus, of course, and then kind of, I think I said out loud to Amanda as the soundtrack was going, I was like, man, this needs some Linkin Park soundtrack on it. Going back to some Michael Bay first stuff. I'm like, I said that a lot. I'm like, I should write that down. Write it down too. I was like, every time that's like the one thing I always think of with the Bayverse Transformers is that Linkin Park song, which is a great song. Like when I heard that, when I watched the first movie in the theaters, I was like that, this is awesome. Like this song is like Yes. This is
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
you know, I mean, how can you not be a Linkin Park fan, first off?
Yeah.
And like just to have that in like this movie at the end, it just like it,
Yeah.
took it to a whole nother level.
All right. But I thought the song at the end of this one was pretty good too.
It was
I have no idea who it is, and
I don't either.
tried to get Tiffany
I watched the
me
credits
one.
to the end to see if like who it was, but I didn't.
So you
write it
saw the
down.
2 end.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Because when you were talking about Decepticons, I'm like, oh no, did he not stick to the end where they really
Yeah.
started tattooing the symbol and calling
Yeah, that was
themselves?
cool. Yeah, like having Sentinel Prime like scar it into him was
Ooh.
and having the sticker too. That was a cool little
Yeah.
putting the little rub sticker on him on his shoulder. Was cool. And yeah, I kind of wish so that the scene where they're like Orion Pax first meets like way at the end, like he first meets D6 and he's like, yeah, I'm new here too. Da, da, da. I wish that would have been like earlier. Like I know they built enough like character stuff. They did a lot of character like them like being brothers. Like that they're basically, they're friends, they're really close friends and all this stuff. But I feel like that scene would have really helped if it was like in the movie earlier, like them like, hey, I'm this person, even if it was like a flashback with it earlier in the movie, to have it way at the end, it felt like it's kind of wasted of like they could have, they did it reminded me of Captain Marvel when they did all of the character development stuff at the end of the movie and they're like, this is what this is why she's powerful and she has all this stuff. They did that as like flashbacks near the end of the movie. Like do that at the beginning, so you build the character, and then like they just did all the stuff like in reverse order. It's like it irritated me, but like I said, it's gonna be nitpicky.
Yeah, I thought Megatron's arc through the whole movie is maybe the most interesting one to watch. If you go watch it again.
Yes. Yeah. His
oh man, his
movement
descent
from
into evil.
Yeah, like I said, his turn from face to heel.
And it's justified. It
is.
Stance is,
yeah. I mean, in his shoes, like someone's like, been oppressed basically all his life. Now he has nothing to lose. What's he going to turn? He's going to turn to violence. That happens to a lot of people. It's very, could happen to really anyone.
Yeah.
Under those pressures and stuff like that.
How two people who do feel the same way can still go different paths.
Right. Yeah.
It's subtle, but if you watch it again, maybe you noticed, but D16's eyes are very yellow in the beginning, and as he starts to turn, they start to get orange and a little darker orange until the moment where he turns, they're kind of a deep orange, and he looks down and it comes back up and they're red, and he's just like, F everything.
So it's kind of Sith like, when their eyes change color when they turn Sith as well. They get those same color eyes. It's one denotation of Sith versus Jedi. Which I mean, there's parallels of that as well, or like similar, like.
Another thing I was sure you were going to bring up was early Alita uses the term GoBot as a slam,
I don't remember hearing that, I guess.
Oh, yeah. And Alita 1, she's amazing. We haven't mentioned Scarlett Johansson. I thought she did an awesome job of having that sweetness, but man, she kicked more ass than anybody in there.
Yeah. So it was. Do you know why they picked Alita 1 as opposed to like RC?
I think just because the history in the storylines, Alita 1 definitely came first.
He's old. Okay, he's older. I didn't know.
Even though RC's in there, you can see her in there in some of the shots. And oh man, the race, all the stuff at the end where Prime goes down to get all the miners, and like all I'm doing is just like, oh, there's Adam over there. He's over there. Look over there. That's that guy. That's that guy. That's that guy.
One thing that I thought was, and this is kind of a similar complaint with like going back to Star Wars, is like space fights where they have so much going on, you can't like see anything, like you can't focus on anything. That was one thing I was like, it was like I'm trying to find who I'm supposed to be looking at, and I can't because there's like so much stuff going on. That's like too much eye candy of like effects, and it's that always bothers me of like when there's like too much stuff flying,
Oh, sure.
so busy that I can't focus on anything.
I think that means you need a bigger TV.
Probably.
No, but the Michael Bay movies, that's my complaint. Is like,
Yeah, I don't like that with that.
I don't know what's
either.
going on once
Yeah.
they start fighting. I'm like,
I don't.
Is that
And they
somebody's
did,
head?
you know,
I don't
Lucas did that with the prequels as well, like
Yeah.
space fight. There's just so much going on, and then you look back at like 70s, 80s stuff, and it's like there's like 3 planes.
Yeah, like maybe there should have been more then. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just I don't. I've always had the problem with that, like in movies where there's just like so much going on, I can't even follow it. I'm like, it takes away from me, like personally, to look at it, to like
Sure.
try to follow anything that's going on. But I had that feel of like that final battle where they like have all these stuff. And it's same with like Marvel movies. They did the same thing with like Endgame and having like all these characters you're trying to follow, and there's so much stuff going on. I'm like, oh, it's just like overkill.
Bill says Michael Bay is the worst thing to ever happen to Transformers.
I don't think he's the worst thing. I think he helped push Transformers more, like
that's the silver lining
in the pop culture,
the zeitgeist of pop culture from 2007
to keep it popular. Otherwise you have a dead franchise. Like if you have nothing from when he started until now, really
the normies, and it grew so much.
But to keep it mainstream, like to go super mainstream, and to keep the idea of Transformers in the public's eye, like he did. That's
but
kudos to him for doing that.
Yes, but I think most of us disagree with his creative choices.
Yes,
the movies are just diminishing returns. It's
for sure. So, I mean, like I said, I stopped watching after like the second one.
That's probably a good spot.
Like, I mean, unless we do it as a thing
yes,
here, then I'll probably have to watch it.
Well, so overall, not so bad.
Yeah, overall was good. It did make me want to watch another movie that they would do, like if they did another movie to continue on with the story. I think that I would probably grade it maybe for me a B, maybe B plus. Like I said, there's things that took it down, voice acting and stuff, but I think it does make me want to watch a continuing story of it.
Well, then you just
to see what goes on.
Basically start at the 1984 animated cartoon,
right?
Because really, there's just a lot more wars going on Cybertron before they have to get out of there to go to Earth as the cartoon starts.
But I would say another movie still in Cybertron, would be great.
So cool.
And then the third one go to Earth, or something, and then that makes a trilogy, and then you can do another trilogy on Earth or whatever, But to do a trilogy, which most film wants to do anyway, filmmakers, to have prequel, the prequel one, then you have like continuing the story, and then maybe go to Earth. But and then you could introduce Unicron at some point too, on the third one. That's why you're going anyway. But that's all like fan fiction of like what you want to happen. But it did make me want to watch another movie, if in the same style vein as this movie, if they did another one. So in the future, hopefully, if they do make another one, I wouldn't be like, no, I don't want to watch it.
And like, I love that it gave a prequel level of knowledge now to so many people. Like, I don't know that most people knew that they were friends at one point,
Right.
You always just thought they were army generals, and
because all they were was like enemies. Seemingly.
So I think just as a storytelling, getting to share that with as many people as this movie reached, I'm just so happy about it. And I thought the animation was amazing.
It's great animation for sure.
Keegan's the funniest guy ever.
Yeah,
he just never stops talking.
Probably my favorite character.
He's so funny.
What did I write? Do people just hate Bumblebee because he's like in waste management? It's
Right,
like-
right, maybe.
I mean,
I think he redeems Bumblebee for sure.
yeah, he definitely
He is
was
so
the best
funny.
voice for that character to make
100%.
people like that character. I guess. I don't. Do people hate him? I mean, other than some people that we know hate him.
No, I think longtime fans probably do, only because of the oversaturation of it,
For sure.
of him. But I
Yes,
think
yes, totally.
generally, as kids go, 100% their favorite.
Yeah.
Kids would latch on to Bumblebee before
Yeah.
anyone else in all of the fiction, so
Sure. Yeah, I think I liked him as a kid.
yeah, of
He's a
course.
fun character. He's like a
Yep.
kid, basically.
Yep. Getting to play with, yeah.
As in the G1 stuff that I remember anyway, that he seemed more like not an adult, like a teen,
Well,
But-
5 stars from me. I love this movie so much. I was so happy to watch it again. It was so great.
Yeah, I'd say
so-
4 stars if we're doing stars.
I letterboxed. I'm used to doing that, so that's 5
Yeah.
stars.
No,
4 is great. I'll take it.
I would say 4 because it makes me want to watch another movie
That's saying something.
in this style with these characters going forward. Like, it didn't make me not want to watch something. if that makes
Great.
sense.
I'll take it. I'm
It makes
glad
me
you
well, it's
watched
like, oh,
it.
what's going to happen next? It's that type of thing, So, but yeah, like I said, my stuff is all nitpicky, but
Makes me so happy I got
that's
to
how
go
I,
watch
that's
it
how I
finally.
like to criticize movies.
Oh,
To
all
see the
right.
small details.
Let's take a quick little break. We're
Yeah.
going to tell you about our podcast network, the PFPN, the Prescribed Films Podcast Network. Tons of amazing, awesome, super cool podcasts over there. Should go to that website after this and check it out. And this nice lady will tell you all about it.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
All right, we're back, and now it's time for Elgin to take us on a store tour.
Oh yeah, just rocking out to that car radio as we're driving down to Big Boys, Vintage Toys, and Collectibles. That's right, at 116 East Business Highway 83 in San Juan, Texas, or Tejas. That's right, it has G.I. Joe's, Sectors, A-Team, Star Wars, Funko Pop, Ghostbusters, Transformers, and Motu, and much, much more. As you can see from the screen there, tons of toys way down at the bottom of Texas. That's right, San Juan. It's 18 hours and 36 minutes from Ottumwa if you start driving down there. I know Jason's driven to Texas and it's taken all day to do. Or if you're already near San Juan, if you're actually in Mexico, it's 40 minutes to Reynosa, which is across the U.S.-Mexican border. It's a border town, basically, right there on the Rio Grande River. And it is the home to the Basilica of the National Shrine of Our Lady of San Juan del Valle, which is home to a statue of Our Lady of San Juan. Which, fun fact, that someone in the 70s tried to fly their plane into the basilica and crashed into it and to try to destroy it. It is one of the largest basilicas in the United States for the Catholic Church, and it has a little statue way up in the area there of Our Lady of San Juan. But yes, go to Big Boys of Vintage Toys and Collectibles at 116 East Business Highway 83, San Juan, Tejas. You never really realize how big Texas is until I originally put in like Oh, I'll just go from Dallas down there. That's 8 hours.
Still
Still 8
from
hours
halfway.
from Dallas, which is in the middle of Texas, down to the bottom of Texas. And I'm like, well, maybe I'll put, San Antonio. That's probably closer. Yeah, still like 6 hours. This is, straight down. It's like, it's crazy, like to think, just how big Texas actually is until you drive 18 hours to get there.
Oh man. Yeah,
But
it's a big one. We got a little hive there from Mirage Reviews.
Hello.
And thanks for stopping over there.
Yeah.
They ask, do you have any BTTF stuff?
I originally thought that said butt stuff because I don't have my glasses on.
Oh, right. Nope, we don't have any. There's no butt stuff here.
No butt stuff. Sorry.
Safe place. It's a safe place.
Yeah.
I don't know what that anagram stands for. BTTF.
There's three T's.
No, 2. BTTF.
By the force.
Of course, you go to a He-Man. By the Well, while we're figuring that out, I definitely want to mention.
What if you meant like by the power of the primes stuff? Power of the primes.
Different guy.
Yeah. Anyway.
If you want to help support the podcast, you can do so lots of different awesome ways, like tell a friend. I know you have friends. You can do that.
Yeah.
By using your mouth or saying, hey, check out this link. Oh, Back to the Future. Man, these anagrams. Thank you, Mirage Reviews. I have a little diecast car, probably.
Do I? I don't think I have any stuff. I don't have any DeLoreans.
Oh, I have a crossover transformer.
That's right, you do.
I have that. That's not a ton. Yeah, dang. I
don't really have anything, I guess.
Well, that's because you hate that movie. I'm just kidding. No, you don't.
I love the third movie.
What?
The best.
Oh my god!
It's in the Old West.
Oh, okay.
You know that Michael J. Fox actually choked out when he was hanging from that rope? He actually choked him out.
Well, you can also choke out your friends by telling them over and over about
only for they have consent.
Our podcast. Oh, yeah, that's right. Of course. And you can also leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, there's those things.
Yep, it's a cool place to go. And you can also enlist in thecore.com, of course.
There's always the core.
I know. Enlist.
The Cracktastic Plastic. There it is.
Organization
of Retro Plastic Specialists.
Yes, we got to.
I don't have my glasses on.
I know, it's okay.
It's so far away.
But one of the cool perks of being in the core is that you get a shout out on the show, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to shout out these fine core members. We got Tony Miller, Chris Turnip Simmons, Alex LaForest, Bill Fisher, and Colin Bunn. Thank you all so much for being core members. We really, really appreciate it. It helps the show, supports the show. It's means a lot, and it helps a lot. So thank you for being core members. Anyone else can go to the core, enlistinthecore.com.
Yes.
If you want to help support the show, that would be amazing. And that's what I know. It's finally time. Thank you so much for watching this movie, Elgn. I'm so happy. And if you out there haven't seen Transformers 1 yet, it is streaming on Paramount Plus.
Yes, that's where I watched it.
Go check it out on Paramount Plus. It is it's wonderful.
Stop watching Yellowstone and watch Transformers 1.
Well, speaking of movies, maybe we'll tease a little bit here, but someone in the chat earlier asked if the Motu movie is that real? This new live action?
Oh yeah, it's happening finally. They're filming stuff. They had shots of.
So this is real. I keep thinking it's just fake news.
They've cast people. I mean, I
see those things, and I'm like, is that even real? Is that just some? Dude
I mean, is all? Yeah, I don't. Is anything real?
Oh, you're right. Until it comes out.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, much like Eternia playset. Until it was actually at my doorstep, it didn't exist.
It didn't exist.
Even though I spent a lot of money to buy it. Which was real.
Yes.
Until it actually arrived, it didn't exist. So much like you said, until it actually arrives, it doesn't exist. But it's fun to see shots of like actors and
Yeah.
stuff. I suppose that guy did post on his Twitter page the act of the
Whatever.
lead for the He-Man lead.
I mean,
They
it all
posted
looks
something.
awesome.
It looks great.
It looks great.
But I
Give
have a
us
feeling
more.
that they're going to be coming to Earth again, which is
So you don't know much about story-wise yet.
no, I have no
Just
idea
some
what the story is, other than what people think that story is. What the professors of the internet think.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what the story is. Just other than it looks like they're on Earth because they're interacting with Earth cops, Earth police.
Well, stay tuned. We'll review it on this podcast.
Of course.
Guaranteed. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching and listening. Everything else you can find over at cracktasticplastic.com. That's our website. We'll see you next Monday live every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Thank you guys for watching and chatting it up in the chat. It's so great. Enjoy the rest of your day. Keep being awesome. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast. But not so fast, my foul fiends. Don't forget to follow these fools on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And visit cracktasticplastic.com. I'll be back.